Hello and welcome. This is Idrl Sah Season 4, and this is the semi-final of the WC. We welcome one and all out here for the playoffs, and the Western Conference is on today, and the next Saturday is going to be the Eastern Conference semi-finals. Four pilots are present today, although five were supposed to be there. Gremlin is not going to join us. So the lineup today is going to be Ion FPV, IMDC, Anand, and 25 milliwatts. We're going to keep uh, just put on this. I guess I missed this. All right. So I think I'm audible right now. So welcome again. This is WCSF. So as I was saying, that SAH playoffs, Gremlin is not going to join us, but it's going to be Ion, IMDC, Anand, and 25 milliwatts. We're going to keep the rules the same. Rounds 1 to 7 are going to be played simultaneously over here, and we're just going to break for a couple of minutes before round 7. So that's the track for you in front, and the points are laid out in the bottom center. Thank you to our sponsor, One Martian Way, and welcome to some of the visitors already joining in. Welcome, Prakhar. He's asking where is Shady. So Shady is going to be part of the next round semifinal. He's part of the Eastern Conference, so he's going to be on next Saturday. All right, so a very simple track out here, not too complicated. We're going to take mostly the first person view of the pilots, and also you can see the difference out here in terms of the displays that every pilot today is being named, and we are following each pilot with his drone. There are trails and there is a naming box with each drone for each pilot. So let's go ahead, pilots. Let's start round number 1 if you guys are ready. And we'll be starting round number 1 in less than 5. Let's take the first person view of these pilots and start zooming in to the first person view of Ion, and stay there for a whole lap with him. IMDC is closely following Ion at this point in time. Look at that, a little bit of a water pond out there, and there's a recharge gate as well, as Ion makes his way quickly once again through the recharge gate, through the triple gate structure, coming towards his second lap. It's a very curvy track. The pilots have to do quite a bit of turning and twisting. So they might have just taken some kind of a pill to have them, not vomit or something like that. But giddiness can definitely come with such kind of a track. Pilots have to be absolutely focused. Let's see where IMDC is in comparison to Ion FPV. He's quite close, although he'll be doing fairly well in the coming rounds. Ion is taking the lead fair and square at this point in time. DC is about 5 gates away behind him. So you can see there from the third person perspective, if we can just follow some of the other pilots. Anand out there in lap number 3 at position number 3. 25 milliwatts is still in lap number 2. I think he will be completing his lap, but will be coming in the 4th place. Quite a bit of distance between him and Anand out there. So IMDC has also completed. We are now waiting for Anand to complete his round. Let's go through him one more time, and that's the run for the first round that we have. So very well done out there. Let's quickly update our scores. Ion FPV, it's going to be 7 points for Ion FPV. IMDC is going to take 6 points. Anand is going to take 5 points, and then 25 milliwatts is going to take 4 points. So just reminding our spectators once again, the points in each of the rounds that the pilots are going to score is going to be multiplied by the number of that particular round. So, for example, if Anand wins in round number 4, he gets 7 points, but those 7 points are going to be multiplied by 4 because we're in round number 4. And then we're cumulatively going to add the previous rounds. And like that, we're going to come to a certain total that will be displayed in real time at the bottom center of your screen. So well done, pilots, for the first lap. Let's go ahead and quickly get ahead with round number 2. Round number 2 starting in less than 5. Third person perspective here with Anand on the line. You can see the rainbow colored quads, high trailblazers out there. IMDC this time taking the lead, seems to be getting into his groove, and very good competition between him and Ion we have seen over the years, but this time Anand is into the game as well. Anand is he was right in between IMDC and Ion for quite some time, but IMDC and Ion, look at that. IMDC is just going and running the lap as if there is no tomorrow out here, and he's just increasing his difference with respect to Ion. Just about 3 gates of difference, and that is quite a bit of difference as compared to the capability of Ion. So Ion will be looking to definitely close the gap in here, and IMDC is coming back into, oh my god, so there was a little bit of a hiccup there with IMDC. Is it going to be close enough for Ion? Look at that. Maybe if we can catch the eye of IMDC from Ion's perspective. Ion now really getting the hang of this track, and he's getting closer and closer to the tail of IMDC. So both these pilots, IMDC just swinging away one more time, and IMDC has completed his 3 laps. Ion coming in second, so that was a good comeback round for IMDC, and the competition proceeds right now between Anand and 25 milliwatts. Both these pilots recovering very well, doing quite well in their 3rd lap, and if you can see from the third perspective, both these pilots again very close, but Anand just closing in the gap at the last moment and takes the 3rd spot. And DC this time scoring 7 points, 6 points go to Ion FPV multiplied by 2, and then Anand takes in the 5 points, and similar story down at the 3rd and the 4th spots. So just the first 2 spots are swapped out there. Round number 3, pilots. Let's get going now, and we will be starting round number 3 in less than 5. There you go. And let's see, this time Ion FPV is going to be very close. Look at that. IMDC is just ahead of Ion FPV. IMDC in the blue trail, and these trails are really going to help us identify these pilots. Each of these pilots are given their own unique color. IMDC given a blue color, Ion is in orange, Anand is in pink, and 25 milliwatts is in green. So right now we are following Ion very close to IMDC, and let's see if IMDC is able to make Ion fall back a little bit more. 3 gates has been his differential with Ion as per the last round, and IMDC again showing that he's really well skilled and trained on this track. He's practiced this track really well and showing off his skills out there. So in the first spot, the leader IMDC, but look at that, IMDC now, Ion has taken the lead out there from nowhere. IMDC may be committing a little bit of a mistake out there and hanging in the balance, giving the way to the first spot, Ion FPV. In the very end, Ion FPV recaptures the flag out here. IMDC coming in second. He should have hung on to the first spot, but again, this is the way the game is played, and little bit disappointing for IMDC to not be in that first spot. We'll be completing the laps with Anand and 25 milliwatts. Anand should be able to, at this pace, complete ahead of 25 milliwatts. That's what our prediction is as he comes back into the start gate. There you go, completing at a good speed of 1 minute 52 seconds, 942 milliseconds. Scoring it up for the pilots, it's the same story as per round number one. So we just copy the points from round number one, 7, 6, 5, and 4 out there. So good comeback. There's a very good competition between ION FPV and IMDC going on currently. So round number 4, let's see if this goes on back and forth. IMDC could take round number 4. It's all up to the bag out here. Round number 4, let's get going, pilots, at the count of less than 5. And we are immediately into the lead with IMDC, but Ion quickly making up for that false start, or a little bit, kind of a late start, so to speak. But Ion doing pretty well out here. And IMDC will be a little disappointed. He's fallen back to the 4th position out there. Look at that huge gap, but IMDC are quickly gaining grounds in front of 25 milliwatts. So he's committing a few mistakes here and there. Might have to speed up and control his game a little bit more if he has to get ahead of Anand and eventually overtake Ion FPV. But at this point in time, Anand is looking very smooth and Anand is improving his game. He has a good start. IMDC might have got a little bit of a chance. Anand did not falter. IMDC had a little bit of a crash again. He was stuck out there for a few gates, and lap number 2 he's still going on. IMDC, my oh my, he is completing, committing quite a few mistakes out there. He's a full lap away from his best competitor out here on this track. Ion FPV again shows that he is the leader of this game at the moment. Anand FPV, let's see how is it going with Anand. Anand in second spot right now. Anand and IMDC. Oh wow, IMDC coming back again to regain his spot number 2. This will be interesting between Anand and IMDC. Anand just laying back a little bit in the last lap, giving the lead away to IMDC. IMDC getting in spot number 2. And again, the same positions as for the last round. Ion takes 7, IMDC takes 6. Anand takes spot number 3 with 5 points, and 25 milliwatts at 4 points. So the cumulative score so far, you can see there at the bottom center of your screen. You can see the total points. Right now, the leader on the track is Ion FPV at 68 points, and IMDC is running very, very close to him. So 62 points, and Anand also 50, and then 25 milliwatts is 40. So remember, round number 7 is going to be the big one, where each of these points are going to be multiplied by a factor of 10. So even if, the spread between Ion FPV and 25 milliwatts at this point in time may look a little bit far off, but anything can happen until the last round. So the last round is something that the pilots have to be absolutely focused on. Now, raising the stakes for round number 5, multiplying the points by 5. Let's see if the pilots are ready for this one. As we go through the game, pilots, be ready on the podium because your race starts in less than 5. Let's see who gets off the podium quickly this time. Ion it is one more time. And in action is IMDC. IMDC has captured the lead this time, and IMDC is determined to really give it a tough fight to Ion FPV right now. And IMDC really is chasing the tail of Ion FPV. Ion FPV trying to maintain a good enough distance. Look at that. Even if the gates are close, the trail distance between Ion FPV and IMDC is a little bit far off. So you can see there the difference. Ion FPV Again, zooming around the track, let's see how it looks from the first person perspective of IMDC. IMDC again hitting the gate. Mind you, this is again a very, very curvy track. So the pilot's really coming in at full speed, and then they have full possibility of crashing into any of these gates. No matter how simple these gates are, there is always a possibility on this track for the pilots to make a big mistake that can cost them an entire position, or even the number one position can go into the fourth, as we saw some time ago with IMDC. But right now, Ion FPV is the leader. Again, you can see Ion FPV right in front of IMDC. This is going to be very, very close, and IMDC committing. Oh my God, IMDC has come in at the last moment. Look at that, IMDC taking the top spot. Wow, what a game that was. And just over 600 milliseconds of difference between Ion FPV. IMDC came back at the last moment in the lap and struck the chord with his position number one. Very well played out there, very well strategized as well by IMDC, and he is playing by strategy. That's what is going to be important. Round number 5 is in his bag right now. So Anand completing at position number 4. Let's once again take a look at the score line out here, how it stands. It's going to get very, very interesting, because there is a shuffle at the top 1 and 2, as well as positions 3 and 4. And Ion FPV this time is in position 2. So he's going to get 6 points, IMDC 7 points. Anand is at the last spot, so he gets 5 points and 25 milliwatts at Anand at fourth spot, so he gets 4 points, and then 25 milliwatts is going to get 5 points. So look at that. Now the points between Ion and IMDC, they're just 1 point apart. The total, if you look at that, 98 points overall for Ion FPV, and IMDC is at 97. Similarly, Anand and 25 milliwatts are at 70 and 65. So again, a very, very open game. Round number 6 multiplied by a factor of 6, and the big round number 7 multiplied by a factor of 10. Let's get going, finish off round number 6, and then we'll be taking a quick 2-minute break where both the spectators and the pilots can just ease off their fingers and take a little bit of a break. But before that, round number 6 coming up, pilots in front of you in less than 5. Jumping off the podium with the pilots. Let's see IMDC doing really well out here. Look at that, IMDC and Ion, both these pilots are so very close. Sometimes IMDC, sometimes Ion, both are equally at the same, mimicking the same gates right now. With each round, they're getting closer and closer. Ion FPV may have just lost a little bit of a focus out there as he came into the recharge gate, but IMDC quick to capitalize on that little bit of a hesitation from Ion. But this time IMDC gives into the hesitation as Ion FPV recaptures the front flag, and this is going to be again very interesting. If Ion FPV is going to go at this pace with 3 or 4 gates of difference, IMDC will have to make quick ground. You can see the trail of Ion FPV still through the eyes of IMDC. That's a good sign that IMDC is hot on the tail of Ion FPV. But 3 gates can still be quite a bit of a difference. The gap is being closed by IMDC between him and Ion FPV. And Ion FPV, look at that, full lap ahead of 25 milliwatts. And Ion FPV and IMDC this time, Ion FPV comfortably with over 2 seconds of lead time gets through position number 1. Will continue holding on, and let's see the track with 25 milliwatts point of view. We haven't seen the track with his FPV viewpoint, and he'll have to make sure that he completes his part of the track. Till then, Anand is at position number 3, and that's the final position out there. So Ion FPV comes in, takes the 7 points. IMDC takes in 6 points. Anand takes in 5 points, and then 25 milliwatts takes in the last 4 points. So pretty much rebacking to that round number 1 scoring. And so again, an open game here. Anand can come back at position number 2. 25 milliwatts can also come in at position number 2. Ion FPV, he's sitting there comfortably, but he's going to be very, very focused if he has to take it all away for the round number 7. So a couple of minutes, pilots, just ease off, take a water break or something. And spectators, you guys can also take a little bit of a breather. The final round, a very, very interesting one, will be coming up in about 1.5 minutes. The story so far, we have had 5 pilots that were going to compete in the Western Conference semi-finals. Keep in mind, so far the SAH S4 has been an individual round. That was the whole format of the competition. We had 4 drafts for 4 weeks where a lot of pilots competed, and we selected the best breed of pilots. A lot of intermediate and beginner pilots also came in, and they became pros. And then the pilots were drafted into the Western and the Eastern Conference. So we are playing Western Conference pilots first and then Eastern Conference. This is the Western Conference semi-final. Next Saturday is going to be Eastern Conference semi-final. Then there's going to be a final for the WC, and then final for the EC, and then the main final is where the 6 pilots along with 2 golden ticket pilots are going to compete for the finale. So keep that in mind. The golden tickets will be announced very soon, and the format of that is going to be also kept hidden till the very end. I will be announcing that a couple of weeks as to what the pilots need to do to get those golden tickets, the pilots who haven't qualified. All right, pilots, so back from our break, round number 7 is all ready to go. Get your fingers, pinches and thumbs on your remote control because this is going to be very, very tight. And round number 7, pilots, is going to be anybody's game out here. Be on the podium because your race starts in less than 5. Let's take off with the pilots from the third person perspective. This time around, IMDC taking off with a brilliant start out there, and wonderfully done. And he's really looking solid right now. So is Ion FPV. If you can see, Ion has really gained ground over IMDC already. Both these brothers, it's often very, very confusing to even distinguish between these pilots when they're flying together, because both are virtually flying at the same speed. They are, very, very well capable pilots, and so we are always on the lookout for a very, very thrilling competition between these 2 pilots. Meanwhile, Anand at lap number 2, Ion FPV increasing his gate distance between IMDC and himself, but IMDC is again very, very focused. Look at that. He is getting on the orange tail out there of Ion FPV. May have sped up a little bit too much, trying to put on the brakes at the right moment, and that's a skill that he'll have to master very soon. Just a few gates remaining before Ion FPV takes on and gets the round number 7. So Ion FPV definitely capturing the final round out here, and a big congratulations to the win for Ion FPV. So let's score it up for these pilots, 7-6, and then Anand at this pace looks again very solid to complete in position number 3. The last 3 gates coming up for Anand right now as he goes through the finish gate, and he shows us the rest of the track. That's how wonderfully these pilots have completed the track. So each of these pilots have pushed their drones to their absolute limits, and they have really scored well. Each round they have decreased their time in completing the lap. So congratulations to all of you pilots. Let's score it up for the finals. Total is going to be Ion FPV in position number 1, 210 points. Very, very well done. I think one of the very few pilots who has broken the 200-point barrier. And IMDC, it was just shy of 7 points at 193 points. Anand about a half a century away at 150 points, and 25 milliwatts sitting down there at 129. But nevertheless, all these four pilots, we had to qualify four pilots into the finals. And these rankings are going to matter because they're going to be part of the point system of IDRL, and of course, the Dabatas also. But all these four pilots, congratulations, you have qualified since Gremlin was not there. And we'll see you the next Saturday in Western Conference Finals. Till then, pilots, you can now leave the server if you want, stay there, hang out, and we'll just bid adieu to our spectators out here. Thank you so much, spectators, once again for joining us for an exciting race here with IDRL SAH S4 Western Conference semifinals. Do join us for the next Saturday Eastern Conference semifinals. Again, a brilliant lineup of pilots out there for the SAH playoffs. And Shady is going to be, of course, there. Somebody was asking, I think Prakhar was asking about Shady. So Shady is going to be lined up next Saturday. And great work. All congratulations coming in from the pilots, from the spectators. Hope all of you have enjoyed the Saturday evening with us, Saturday Night Live, as we call it. And a big congratulations all the way around. Thank you, pilots, once again. Thank you, spectators, all of you. Have a great Sunday tomorrow. Enjoy. Good dreams, good night, and alvida. Thank you so much.